Hello. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for giving me a little bit of your time. I'm excited today because I want to share with you one of my favorite data sources, one of my favorite analysts, economists. I get his weekly newsletter every single Sunday. I learn so much. I want to share with you, and I'll share some of the pertinent information about housing and mortgage that he had this week. So one of my favorite people to follow is Sam Rowe. He is from TKer, from TKer, TKer, and he has a free newsletter every Sunday. Now he has a premium subscription, but his free newsletter is more than enough. And I was referring his newsletter to somebody this weekend, and I was explaining why I like it so much. And one of the things that I said that stands out to me is that he has pretty unbiased insights. He avoids emotional comments. He doesn't try to he's not clickbait. He's not trying to get clicks. His analysis is rational and grounded, and it's focused on what truly matters. And what's more important, he backs it up with a ton of data, as you're going to see in a minute. He has a very data-driven approach. Each issue is packed with charts and stats. And the great thing about that is you can use them in your presentations. You can use them in your lunch and learns. You can use them in your market updates. They're beautiful charts. They're really easy to understand. Sam's starting to be widely cited by other economists. He's getting a lot of run in the press, so he has some credentials, which is great. In the newsletter I'm about to show with you, some of the things that we would find interesting is how the job market is cooling, but that doesn't mean it's weak. It's still very strong, just not as overheated as before. Talks about home affordability challenges and offers about, I think, 4 or 5 charts to kind of show what he means. And then he talks about how household finances, all that being said, household finances remain better than they were pre-pandemic. And so that's just some of the things I got out of the newsletter. Here's the thing. If someone were to spend 10 or 15 minutes a week reviewing his newsletter, you'd really start to understand markets a little better. And especially since he's not from our industry, so there's not the industry bias that we get. You're going to get a little better understanding of markets and interest rates and inflation. You're going to get a lot of really good data to be able to use yourself and visuals that, like I said, you can implement, you can integrate into your presentations. And I think that if you just read it every day, if any of us read it every week, we'll just gain confidence in the advice that we give and how we advise clients on the direction of the economy. I really recommend it. I'm going to put a link to his newsletter in my notes below, but I wanted to show you what I'm talking about so that you can see it too. This is I get it into my email box. To me, it comes in an email, but I went online to get his direct content. And here's the thing I'm going to share. You're just going to see in the first half of his newsletter, he has an argument. He's like, "Hey, look, some of these indicators are cooling, but I think the economy is still really strong." And then he goes, okay, business activity. And then he goes, job openings. And then hiring quit rates. And this is how he's talking about, hey, the job market is cooling, but still really strong. And he gives you tons of data on it, tons of things you can use. Then he's like, home affordability. Home affordability is challenge. Interest rates are going up. Gives you a chart. I love this is my favorite chart of his newsletter. This goes to say, hey, look, here's how much it costs to buy a home now. Here's how much it's cost over the last 10 years. You can see that it's risen significantly. It's gone from $979 back in 2019 to now it peaked at $2286 a couple months ago. And so I really like the data, and we can use that data in our presentations. Then he goes existing home sales as affordability. Essentially, he's going to look as affordability has gone up, home sales have gone down. Makes kind of sense. And then he goes, however, household finances are better off than, they're better off than pre-pandemic. They're pretty good right now. And this is the amount of debt service to disposable income. And then he goes into household delinquency. And then he goes, in this big picture, he does this all the time. So every week let's look at the macro things. And I like what he says here. I can't reiterate enough. The data reviewed hasn't gone from good to bad. It's rather gone from very hot to something more, dare I say, normal. I love that. And he's so unemotional about it. So then here are the macro cross currents. The next 10 pages are charts he shares every week. So the market continues to add jobs. Total payroll employment's at a record 159.5 million jobs. 7.2 million up for the pandemic high. So you can just see, I'm not going to go through it because there's another 50 charts, but you can see how if you were to spend 10 or 15 minutes a week reviewing all this information, you start to form an opinion about where the economy is, the strength of the economy, how interest rates are going. You'd really gain confidence, and you get all the data to use. So, as I mentioned before, I am going to put a link to his newsletter below, but I did a lengthy LinkedIn post on this morning. And in the post, I did a link to his newsletter, really encouraging everybody to subscribe to his newsletter, check it out, see if it's good for you. I find it super valuable. I hope you find it valuable too. I appreciate you giving me your time. Let's just keep going. I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks. Bye.